So let's talk about QA orchestration. So QA orchestrations is automated configurations, coordinations, and management of system and software to achieve quality objective with minimal issue in time. So that's the definition. And also in the work quality reports 2012-2021, this is a saying about QA orchestration in Agile and DevOps. So the adoption of Agile and DevOps is steadily increasing. As the result, the QA team become the orchestrators of quality, which means that QA now, they will not only care about their job at the testing stuff only, but it also connect and coordinate to other part of the software development lifecycle. So the risk and the complexity associated with software development had gone up significantly, and that's the reason why it creates more and more pressure to assure high quality of testing. At the same time, the need to do faster and cheaper is more important than ever. So as software become faster, risk become higher, and we have more pressures. That's why we have QA orchestration today. So let's take a look in more detail here for the top reason why that we need to consider QA orchestration to control our testing quality today. Firstly, as we might know that nowadays every company is a software company. So the performance of software will become the performance of their business. Software today drive the success of business. So the quality and the performance of software becomes really the core success of the company. So how to make the software deliver on time to meet the market need, also keep it with high quality to keep your customer with you is something that's super important today. Also, when we have more software there, of course, the risk and the complexity with software increase significantly. Nowadays, you need to manage the quality and the availability of the whole system and to prevent it from on kind of like attack. And also nowadays we have to stay at home most of the time due to like the epidemic. Software also become more important for to connect, and it also introduce more risk. The QA now they not only have to cover the quality of the product under development, but also before and when it run on production. And finally, tax and cost is of course something that crucial to business. When we have more company doing software, it means that we have more competitors. And for a new company with couple of people, they can create software and run real quick, and they can beat the software from some giant if they just do it slow and they cannot deliver on time. So the need for enterprise to become faster and cheaper is more important than ever for them to keep their market if they don't want to be defeated. Someone just getting faster and cheaper than them. So performance, risk management, also time and cost is the crucial reason why we need to consider QA orchestration today. So this is another view of TestOps at the QA orchestration solution. These pictures look a little bit overwhelming. If you can take a look on the left side, it's something might be very familiar to QA or testing. So what we have in the left side is the testing flow. So of course, it begins with some kind of planning that we have with release. And then for a certain release, we'll also plan for the strategy that we need to approve for testing. And that component really covered by TestOps by the release and test run module. So we have the release and test run module at test planning to help you cover the planning phase in testing flow. And then we move to the design test phase. In this phase, first of all, we need to have requirement, and requirement can be retrieved from your application lifecycle management, so that Jira, Azure DevOps we mentioned already. So for requirement, you will know what you need to test, and you can design your test case already. Then you're gonna pack your test case in squid in order to optimize your executions and in order to make your execution happen in the business flows. And then we also have the defect modules. This will also give you more details about the result of your execution, which I mentioned before that requirement, test case, test suite, and defect will give you a full coverage about quality of your requirement and also the quality of your release. So when we have release, requirement, test case, test suite, and defect in one system, what you can imagine is you know exactly for your release how many requirements you have your test to cover, how many requirements that already execute but they had defects. You also know that for a requirement in your release, there are certain critical defects that link to that requirement. So with that coverage on hand, it helps you better to make the deliver decisions. Then move on to the another phase of testing flow. It's gonna be execution. So for the execution phase, we support multiple time execution for single, parallel, and dynamic. For dynamic here, we can select the test case that we want to execute at runtime. So this capability is something that we develop to make sure that when you have many test cases that you need to execute, but you can collect the more important one that you might want to execute in order to fasten your speed. So as we know already, speed is very important. So we have many test cases, it's good, but if we know exactly what we want to execute, is also better. That the capability that we aim to develop for our user. Also for the execution phase, we have environment with multiple infrastructures, not only your local, but also like Kubernetes, Circle CI, and also Test Cloud. So Test Cloud is a service that under development that we plan to deliver it this year. So with Test Cloud, we will have our user and customer who do not really have environment in-house can easily have and set up a full execution with all of the latest execution environment just in a minute. We also have tech sections. It's something that we deliver in order to monitor the executions of your test in one section. So for the running phase, we have environment, we have tech sections, and also script repository to cover that for the workflow. That's the configuration part that we have in TestOps. Then after execution, we have reports, and of course, we collect on the result of the executions, and it's gonna be a place for you to quickly investigate what happened with your test. If all of the test is bad, it's good, but you have some problem with that, we have you to quickly investigate what's going on. We also provide reports that help you to see the performance, see the trend, or see the flag in it, and also some of the problem that you might have with your test in order to optimize and plan your test better. And finally, these are analytics component. We also have the basic report, which give you the quality of your product. We also have advanced and AI report that under development to help you give more insight and details about what part of your product you can improve, what problem in your system that you should focus on, and also give you more insight to improve the productivity of your test. So Going through testing workflow, we will have all the modules and components in TestOps to cover all of those, and we have all of them in one place, which means that have user to automatically configure, manage, and execute the test to have them achieve QA orchestration. All right. So moving forward, we will have a use case for you to demonstrate how it works with Catalan Studio and TestOps that will help you to generate a test script and then configure and schedule your test to run in minutes. So firstly, we are gonna create a test script in Studio and upload to Git. And then we prepare a script repos in TestOps by connect your Git. We will set execution just a minute. Then we create a test environment. And again, this can be your local machines or your cloud infrastructures. And finally, when you have on that, you will schedule your test. And we'll see how it works with all of them in our next demo. Thank you.